It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. This is Neeley rocking with your Classic Metal Show. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard the Tommy Paris Band with Four on the Floor. Or rather, that wasn't Four on the Floor. That was Ready to Bleed, as a matter of fact. And then we just heard Wicked Sin there with Evil Ways. And bringing his evil ways to the mic is my friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's happening, Chris?
What is up, sir? How are we?
Good. Ready to rock. I got a little nap this afternoon, and I feel ready to go.
Well, I got not only a nap, but arguably had the greatest thing that any single guy can do. Got enough alone time to sit there and jerk my dick to the fucking Phoebe Cates scene in Fast Times today.
That's a little too much information for me.
I don't care. There is no scene better than that. Dude, I just had the urge to watch that movie today, so I pulled it out. And you know me, I don't watch a ton of movies. So I don't know why, I just had the urge to watch that movie. And as soon as Hamilton started spanking his dick, I was right there with him. I know that's gay, but I don't care.
Very nice.
Me and Hamilton just jerking our dick thinking about Phoebe Cates.
Right. Well, obviously that is an iconic scene in movies. And,
sure.
Phoebe Cates has been in numerous movies. Has she ever been able to recapture her hotness in that one movie? In any other movies?
What was that movie? Is it called Paradise Island, I think? Where she's like naked on a beach a lot?
I don't recall seeing that one.
I think it's either called Paradise or Paradise Island, one of the two.
Okay.
I don't remember. She was really hot in that. But then all the other movies, she was like kind of like almost librarian dress.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that. Like the one other movie that stands out for me that she was in, and she was supposed to be a runway model, but she just did nothing for me, was that Michael J. Fox movie, Bright Lights, Big City.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Yes.
That was kind of a bummer movie, dull movie.
Yeah.
And she was in that, and it was just like, what happened to her? Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. I had forgotten how hot Jennifer Jason Leigh was in Fast Times, too.
She was just on the cusp. She was a little bit too young looking in that movie. She was too kiddish for me in that movie.
I just like that little chunky butt in those fucking swim shorts. Oh yeah.
Well, you were having a time this afternoon, weren't you?
Dude, that movie is like that movie is everything I would ever want in a movie. It's got the best nudity ever. I don't care, what nudity you put up in a movie, not in a porn, but in a movie. Nothing is better than the Phoebe Cates scene.
Right.
I can't. Maybe a close second might be Halle Berry getting the shit fucked out of her by what's his name, Billy Bob Thornton, in whatever that movie was.
Right.
But and maybe 9.5 Weeks, Kim Basinger.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
That's good too. The ice cubes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's some solid nudity too. But nothing. I mean, if you ask people what's your favorite nude scene, almost 8 of 10 are going to say Phoebe Cates.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a very iconic scene. It was kind of groundbreaking for its time. When did that come out? It was like 82, right?
82.
Was it 82?
Yep.
All right. So that was my era right there. I was a senior in high school in 82.
Yeah. It just so good. And, the Spicoli character, every fucking word out of Spicoli's mouth is memorable.
Right.
Every line he says is a movie quote that people use at parties and stuff.
Sure.
There's that. The Hamilton character is fucking hilarious. The blowjob scene with the carrots. There's just so many good scenes in that movie. It's just the perfect movie.
Right. Well, again, for the time, 82, we are talking, over 30 years now.
Sure.
That was very cutting edge, especially since it really featured what were high school kids.
Yeah.
So they were very mature kids for high school. You know what I mean? The kids today, the kids in high school today, you couldn't even imagine them being like that.
No, they'd be like, oh my God, she's pretending to give that carrot a blowjob. I better tell somebody.
Right.
I'm offended.
Right.
You know, that infringes on my gender neutrality, man.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that movie, and then that movie really sparked all the other movies, didn't it? Pretty in Pink, St. Elmo's Fire, Breakfast Club. Those all were kind of like because of the success of Fast Times, weren't they?
Well, yes and no. I mean, coming up as a writer, John Hughes, was honing his craft as a writer. And one thing I didn't even realize how big of a influence John Hughes was in the National Lampoon movies, the Vacation movie. Did you know he wrote most of that?
No, I had no idea.
I had no idea either. But he was just coming up as a writer director of those movies, and obviously he had dominated the decade of the 80s with all of his movies.
Sure. Yeah, Vacation, another great series of movies, really, because the three of them are good. The Vegas one, not so good, but the three, the German one, and
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, those are funny.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good.
I wasn't real big on the European movie, European Vacation.
I don't know. It still has that funny fucking line where the European mother that's not even really their mother-in-law or whatever brings out the big old fucking sausage, and the girl just looks at it and goes, I miss Tom, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was okay. And what's his name? Eric Idle in that movie that got hit by a car and he's bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, it's just fine. It's just fine. I'm not going to die.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the whole, the Holy Grail, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah. It's nothing at all.
Of course.
My heart has a lot of blood in it.
Sure. Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Well, it looks like you had a nice, relaxing afternoon.
I did. I was going to work through the day, and I worked early. I did about 4 or 5 hours of work, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I haven't really taken an afternoon off in a long time. So I did. I just I watched Fast Times. I watched a John Gotti documentary. I watched Dog Day Afternoon. I was kind of all over the map with my taste. But
wow, you did a lot of TV watching today.
I did. I was in bed all day. I literally got in bed about 2:00, and I got up to do the show.
Nice. Well, one of the documentaries that I've been watching, and I finally finished it today because I start these documentaries at night when I'm ready to go to bed,
right?
And I make it through like 15 or 20 minutes, and I'm out.
Right, sure.
So today, one documentary that I started earlier this week that I did not get to finish, and I found it really fascinating just because I like the older or the documentaries about the iconic bands and things.
Okay.
Because I watched one on Pink Floyd, I watched one on Led Zeppelin, but one that kind of fascinated me because I never really realized how influential they were to harder rock music was the Yardbirds.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's a really well done documentary out there about the Yardbirds, and they spawned 3 of the most iconic guitarists, of our time, that is Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck and of course Jimmy Page.
Right.
And to see they only lasted 5 years.
Yeah, they were the original London.
More or less.
Yeah, they produced a bunch of guys that had a lot of success outside of their band.
They did.
Yeah.
And of course, that was the launching point for Led Zeppelin.
Right.
And so I watched that today, and they had all surviving members of the Yardbirds to talk about, their time in the band.
Okay.
And, they had a lot of old footage, and for a early to mid 60s band, they were a pretty hard rocking group.
Sure. They're back together, right?
Not really.
There's like one guy or two
I don't
guys.
even know if there's even one guy in that band.
No,
Is there?
I know there's one. I just interviewed what's his name, Kenny Aronson.
Yeah, and he certainly wasn't part of the band.
No, but he's in it now, and I think he told me there was like one or two guys that were the originals.
Right.
And they're putting together a new record, and because the world is waiting for that.
Yeah, well, the lead singer died.
Yeah, well, that's not an important part of the band.
Yeah, okay. And they're certainly not getting Jeff Beck or Jimmy Page or Eric Clapton to play with them.
Singer and guitar inconsequential.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
As long as you got like the bassist still alive, now you're talking about.
Yeah, it might as well have been Bobby Blotzer's Yardbirds.
Who says he's not the drummer?
Yeah, really.
His back's got to be feeling better now. Maybe he's ready to start playing for the Yardbirds.
Yeah, seriously. Is there really any interest in that?
I would love to say no, but then I see like that yearly Moondog coronation thing that they do here, and it sells out the Gund Arena. Now they package up like 10 of those bands.
Yeah, but it's like you're going to get to at least hear 10 to 20 songs that you know.
Yeah, well, if the Yardbirds were on that, they'd probably play, what was their hit?
Well, they had The Heart Full of Soul.
Okay.
And they had, I just watched it, and a couple of us escaped me already.
It was so moving of music you can't remember.
No, but I just like the fact that they spawned, where their history came from and how, that they only lasted 5 years, but, they made their mark in that short amount of time.
Right. Let's see. I'm looking at the Yardbirds Essentials, and yeah, I know a few of these. For Your Love.
That's another one I was looking for. Right. Exactly.
I always thought that was the Beatles.
It was the same era. It was England. Yeah. It was England. The ones that obviously were the big players of that era was the Beatles and the Who, the Stones, and the Yardbirds.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking. Train Kept A-Rollin'. Yeah, that's about the three that I know. Still I'm Sad. Is it? I know.
Yeah, that's kind of a a medium hit for them.
Yeah. Shape of Things. I don't know that one. Over, Under, Sideways, Down. Don't know that one. I'm a Man.
Yeah. M.
Okay.
A. N. Man. Know that one?
Yeah, I didn't like that one. Evil Hearted You. No. Smokestack Lightning.
Yeah, that was another one. That was an earlier hit for them, and they were basically talked about. That was their staple hit that they of course had to play at every show. And by their fifth year of playing and deciding to call it a day, they said, "Yeah, we were just tired of playing that."
Right. Here's one that was probably your theme song, White Summer.
Yep. Well, anyway,
if
you like those documentaries of some of the more influential or iconic bands, and especially since you're a fan of Zeppelin,
sure,
it's definitely a good watch.
Yeah. Well, and while you're watching it, you could read this book, Led Zeppelin, all the albums, all the songs, by our good friend Martin Popoff. What a great book.
You have it?
I have it. I have one. Next time I see you, you're going to have it, because I have one for you.
Okay, excellent.
It's a hardback book. It's all kinds of crazy photos that I've never seen before, and it literally tells the story of every Led Zeppelin song.
Very cool.
This will look really good on your coffee table.
I'm sure it will.
It's a cool book, and it's a big, heavy one, man. It's 350 pages in a hardback book.
So what does that sell for?
Let me see.
Is that a $50 book or a $100 book?
$30 US.
Really? $30?
Yeah. On Voyager Press.
Very nice.
So, good book though, Martin. We'll have Martin on eventually. I mean, I talked to Martin and he said he'd come on, so I just haven't pulled that trigger yet.
Right. Well, he is a prolific writer, and it's amazing the number of books that guy has cranked out over his career.
I know. I'm sitting here struggling trying to get my fucking 100-page book done.
Yeah, but Martin, that's what he does. You, on the other hand, you're like trying to run a business and write and do the show and do,
No,
you can only do so much.
I do tend to stay a little bit busy, but...
Yeah, sure. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, how's my friends doing tonight?
Well, it's John Rufo back from the dead. Where have you been, John?
Actually, I've had a lot of setbacks, and I died twice.
But you're still here to talk about it?
I am still here talking about
So
it.
this isn't a ghost? This isn't a ghost John Rufo? This is actual John Rufo in the flesh?
This is actually John Rufo in the flesh. I'm blessed, and I thank God, for Christ's sakes. I had a pec recession on my left shoulder. They pulled my pec muscle back to reroute under my arteries on my left arm again. And I got home from the hospital, and I collapsed 4 days later in my kitchen, and a blood clot went through me and exploded on my left kidney.
My goodness. Well, John,
Yeah.
I hate to overshadow you, but Chris let us know that he pulled his pec muscle before the show.
Oh, really?
He did.
No, I'm not going to make fun of Chris. But then the story goes, they didn't know what happened, and they released me 4 days later, and then 3 days later, I collapsed in my kitchen and passed out, and another blood clot went through me and exploded on my left kidney for the second time, and I was in the hospital for 11 days.
Well, John, maybe the common denominator there is something in your kitchen.
Yeah, no, nothing was in my kitchen.
Well, that happened in your kitchen twice. So what do you think? I think that when you eliminate all the possibilities, the kitchen is the main factor there. That's my diagnosis.
No, it's not that diagnosis. It just happened to be I had a major surgery, and a blood clot formed because of my surgery, but my doctors still can't come up with a reason why that happened to me. And it's just because my doctors work for a certain new wealthy hospital, and they just can't go against it. And they said they have no idea why this happened.
No.
And it's because of my surgery, so I have to go through hell with. And then I can actually say, finally, right now, I am fucking back. You know?
Excellent, John. Well, I'm glad you're in good health, and I'm glad you checked in with us and let us know that you're still walking the earth.
Yeah, well, thank you. You guys probably don't give a shit, but I just felt like I had to call
John,
you guys. I missed the show.
You called, and I took your phone call, and I'm conversing with you, and then you accused me of not giving a shit. Now I feel hurt.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't mean that at all.
All right. Well, I'm going to feel hurt for the rest of the show. I think I'm forming a blood clot in my heart right now.
No. I did not mean that at all. No way. I've been thinking of you guys. I've been dying to call you guys for months, but
that's a strange choice of words, John. You've been dying to call us. Maybe that's what the issue is.
Well, yeah. Well, I can't. I couldn't wait for tonight, and I'm listening to you guys, and I'm like, oh shit, this is a long weekend. Maybe they're not there, but
this is why is this a long weekend?
Because it's Columbus Day on Monday.
Is that a day
off? Columbus Day, I guess.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that's a day off. For people who have those government type jobs.
I thought we hated Columbus.
Yeah, right.
Well, we do because he was a racist.
Fuck Columbus, right?
Yeah, he was a racist, right, John?
Yeah, oh, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know something, right? Just to bring racism up, right? Hey, fuck these niggas that want to kneel down during the national anthem. I think that's a disgrace.
Yeah, I agree, John, and I'm glad you brought that up because I'm highly upset about that.
Yes. Yeah. If you notice, right? It's all the fucking niggas that do it, not the whites, not us, not fucking us.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that racism is alive and well in the Boston area.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, it's fucking kicking ass, and we are the Boston fucking racist town, I tell you. Even though we're going to get fucking swept tomorrow by the fucking Astros, doesn't matter. The Red Sox, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, John.
Yeah.
Well, it's been good talking to you, and I'm glad you're well. I'm glad you're back. Get strong, get healthy, get back out on those drums, and start wailing. Wailing away.
I've been dying to listen to you guys. This is the first night in fucking months that I've been able to listen to you guys.
Excellent, John. All right, John.
So, hey, can I request a song?
Sure, go ahead, John.
How about Atomic Punk by Van Halen?
Well, if we could play licensed music, I'd play that for you, John, but we're not allowed to play licensed music anymore.
Really?
Really?
All right. How about Iron Maiden, Speed of Light?
Well, that's licensed music, John. Anything that's like a name brand band, we can't play it anymore.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Why?
Because I don't have the licensing to cover it.
So what can I request?
Well, how about if I pick something and just send it out to you, John?
That would sound great to me. Dude.
All right, John. I'll stay away from.
I miss you guys. I fucking love you guys, and this is the first night I've been able to listen to you guys for a very long time, and I plan my whole day around this right now.
All right, excellent, John. All right, well, be well, my friend.
All right, thank you very much. I love both of you.
Hail and kill.
All right, hey, fuck you, pal. Hand jaws, balloon knock.
Right.
There goes our friend Racist John.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, he doesn't like the players kneeling down.
Guess not. At least certain players.
Yeah, and he's accepting the fact that the Red Sox are probably going to get their asses beat.
No, they are. They've looked horrible in the first two games.
Sure.
I've watched both of those games, and the Astros have absolutely beaten them into submission.
Right.
They have not looked really good. So.
All right. Well, there you go. You remained silent. You kept your composure.
Yeah, I'll let him have his death call.
Right.
But that's it.
Yep.
Now the next call might be different.